today. We've been talking about the Pythagorean theorem, all right? So, today, has anyone heard of RAFT? R-A-F-T?
Yes, we have. Good God. We have. I heard a video language.
R-A-F-T. So, today we're going to produce a raft, all right? There's role, audience, format, and topic. So role, you're going to truly take on the role of something, and then you're going to actually speak to something. And in the normal setting, you know, your role is a student, and often you're speaking to me as your teacher, okay? And sometimes your format, Aaron, is just to explain things to me on whatever our current topic is, all right? So very similar, but you get to take the role of something different today, all right? So I'm going to show us a couple of examples on cars, but I got to let my thing wake up. But, so let's say we're talking about a car. Imagine that you are a car, and I have the remote in just a moment. When it stops blinking, I'll fix it. So it's a car that's in the junkyard, right? And then the audience is going to be the teenager who destroyed the car. Charles, go ahead and work outside. Go ahead and take your stuff and work outside, okay? The teenager destroyed the car. The format is going to be a farewell letter. And then the topic is take care of your car, but you want to do it in a scolding type of way, all right? So you're going to see this. Let me see if I can get it on now. Okay, so it's going to wake up. You're going to see this car talking to the teenager. And he talks to him and he says, you know, I'm in the junkyard and I'm about to be compacted. So I need to quickly write this letter. And then he says things like, he goes on to say that being in the junkyard, he's been losing parts off of his car every day, all right? And then he tells him how he didn't use him correctly. He said, you know, you only gave me bad gas. He said, you didn't change my tires, okay? So, all right? So, he even calls him, you know, if somebody's treating you bad, he even goes as far as says, you're a jerk, okay? He says that, you know, he didn't give him good fuel that would keep his car parts clean, all right? And then he even said, you know, you were wasting gas money because you gave me some underinflated tires, or you did not keep my tires up. And then at the very end, when it's a farewell, you know, you say goodbye. But think about it, he was in a junkyard, so he ends this letter by saying, here comes big crunch. I've reached the end of my road. Crunch. So, you know, the nice thing about it, you also see a creative writing. Aaron, go ahead and step outside. So we also see the creative writing in this, okay? All right, now we could look also in such a situation, the flip of this situation, where maybe we read a story first, and then we could define what the role was, and we could define what the audience was, and what the format and the topic was. So here we have this story, okay? Luke, go ahead and read this for me.
What? You need more gas? I just gave you your gas allowance. You cannot continue to use your gas foolishly. Gas doesn't grow on cheese now. Where does all your gas go anyways? If you would drive 55 miles per hour on the highway, instead of putting the pedal to the metal, you would not be milking me for every bit of gas I have. If you would check the air pressure on your tires once a week, you might be able to put your extra gas in the spare tank. Get another thing, get rid of those spoilers on the back of your car. What a drag. You would have plenty of gas. It would not cost me to have a pump attack if the spoilers were gone. And while we're on the subject, why don't you ride that nice bike of yours occasionally? You are really getting lazy. You are making more and more short trips on my towel rather than using your own. Why not get your car in the environment and break for a while? Go park your car in the garage.
The students who are trying to come in that are not my student, allows them to come in, they need to quietly. Girls, I know that they're gonna come and use their computers, okay? See, I don't know how many it is, so if it's just 2, you can stay. If it's more, then, I will have to move for your moment, okay?
Not you.
All right, here we go. So let's figure out what was the role. Whose viewpoint was this? Who was talking? Who was talking? What are some possible options of who was talking?
The car.
The gas pump.
Could have been a gas pump, a car.
The car.
The car could be talking. So tell me this. All right? Tell me this. If it was the car, you know, that couple of clues that says, those clothes on the back of your car, okay? So if it's the car speaking, would the car maybe say your car? He would be saying I and me because he is the car, okay? But if you say gas pump, well, gas pump, yep, it's giving gas. The gas pump could give more gas, okay? If you're coming back getting more gas, he can say you're using it foolishly, right? Foolishly, that was a play on word there. The gas pump kind of, I don't know if you know, your parents, when they buy cars, they buy them in terms of, what they call it, miles per hour, how many gallons they can get per mile. There we go. How many gallons per, I know, gallons per mile. All right.
Per gallon.
Miles per gallon. There we go. Miles per gallon. How far can I get for how much gas I put in there? So he's telling them what's a good speed to drive to, you know, really hold true to that. Really hold true to that. Getting those miles for those gallons. Okay. All right. We've got that it was a gas pump. Who is he talking to?
The team.
A team. Who else? Bad driver. I mean, it's not entirely clear that it has to be somebody young, you know, but it could be. If you think about who often doesn't take care of things well, a younger person doesn't take care of things more than an older. Then you got the format. In what way was he presenting this information? Lecture. He's telling him about himself. He's standing there and he's scolding them. So there definitely was a lecture. And what was the topic? It's definitely talking about gas, all right? So we flip the page here, and they tell us it was a gas pump, talking to a teenager, and it was a lecture he was giving, and he was reprimanding him about using his gas wisely. So what we're going to do, we're going to do our RAFT, and our conversations, our topics have been over the Pythagorean theorem. Here, it's going to be 4 options. One of them is not here yet. You are a non-right triangle, and who you're talking to is the right triangle company, and you're going to put it in a resume. A resume is for the purpose of when you give someone a resume, what are you trying to get? Trying to get a job. So, and not only the play on words that this is a company, so you are applying for a job and you're sharing your resume with them, and the things that you want to put on there. So the other option is right triangle. That means you are a right triangle, and you're talking to Thomas, the Pythagorean theorem, but your format is a love letter, you know? And it says, describe your relationship. I want you to think about boyfriend and girlfriend, and I mean, I've got to be very neutral here, so this might sound weird to you, but we know there are lots of different people, but even think girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend. I just want to say that because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, Miss Scott says there's only one type of relationship. That is not true. There are lots of types of relationships up there, okay? So, but imagine, but this is a love letter, okay? So, when you write those letters to the person you love, you tell them what you like about them, you tell them why it works so perfect, why you are a perfect match for each other, okay? So that's your love letter. And finally, you got this one here, 2 squares, a large square, and a defense speech. You know, I want you to be thinking about how, you know, a lot of us, when you meet somebody for the first time, they look new. You're not sure if you like them yet. You don't see anything that you have in common. But you've got to get to know them. And when you get to know them, you start to figure out how you are really the same. So I want you to take that understanding, and it's more of like a defense speech. You're standing up for yourself almost. And you've got these 2 squares who are working together. So that's the viewpoint of both the squares talking to this larger square, okay? And the last one, which is not up there, is you are Pythagoras' grandson or granddaughter, okay? And your audience is a personal diary. So you're slash publishing company, okay? So okay, I'll say your audience is the publishing company, and that your format is the personal diary, and your topic is a theoretical discovery. So you want to be, you found your grandfather's work, and you want to let his work be known. So you want to go to a publishing company, but they want to see his work. So you are almost replicating his work, but again, almost like a diary, and you're wanting to, also it says, make sure that you're doing the viewpoint and pay attention to your style of writing. You know, think about when your grandfather would have been born, all right? Think about when he's been born. Think about, you know, maybe the language and the symbols that he may have been using, all right? Felix.
For the resume one, how many characters?
You know, I didn't have a minimum. You know, my resume has like almost 8 things, honestly, if not more, because I got a couple different jobs on there. But what else would I say? For all of them, I want everybody to, at minimum, be very much like our 2-car scenarios. You know, so that was not too long. He definitely gave a solid paragraph. There were lots of sentences. I'd love to see maybe if you could put a little bit more in there, because it looks a little skeleton. I do see some things on there, but it looks a little skeleton, okay? So that's what I want us to do. So I'm going to assign each one of you a different RAFT, and that's what we're working on this class period, is creative writing, showing your understanding in the topic that you've been asked to stay within, okay? Any questions? Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, it's filming.
All right, to all my fellow squares, I say hello. I am here to address the problem of inequality to big squares to 2 little squares. When our other big squares decide it's okay to say that they're bigger than us, it is unfair. The Pythagorean theorem clearly states that 2 legs, us, equals 1 big hypotenuse. Add it together and we make a big happy triangle. Our motto is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Without us, c squared, you wouldn't even be there. Many of us have figured out that hypotenuse, what is that?
Get it together.
Hypotentina and all her friends don't like us being around us. But I'm here to say that although we are different, we are all alike in many ways. We are all made in one system, and in that system we shall stay. Me and B squared will always equal you big square. We are alike and it will always be. Okay. I really, really like it. A few things I feel like I'd like to add a little bit more. More of also even some of the characteristics that make you the same. So, you know, what are the characteristics of actually a square? You know? Size, angle. So I'd like to maybe hear not just Pythagorean theorem, but maybe like the actual characteristics of your squares that really make you more similar. So, but that was really good. I did like it. Thank you.